The Colorado Reapportionment Commission met for day 2 of map drama this morning. And if you didn't pay attention to what happened yesterday, the Republicans were very concerned about the fact that they had been told all new map proposals were due last Wednesday at noon, right before Thanksgiving, and were shocked to find that an entire new Democrat map was submitted on Sunday night at 10 p.m. This allowed the Democrats to sit for 4 days with the Republican maps in order to improve upon them. In a last-ditch effort to make the process a little less skewed, Republicans came to the table this morning with yet one more map proposal. And since the precedent had already been set that the commission would consider maps that were proposed less than 14 hours before the previous meeting, it wasn't unreasonable to at least hope that their map would also be considered. But was the Republican map even considered? No, obviously not. And in addition, they passed the Democrat map on a vote of 6-5.
No.
Nicholas.
This is a politically vindictive map, and that's I think, exactly where we're at. It's our leadership, the Republicans, all into districts together, and so I will absolutely vote no. And I wish I could vote no 3 or 4 times.
Salazar.
Yes.
Toole.
No.
Whitworth.
No.
Webb.
I'm going to happily vote yes. I wish I could 2 or 3 times.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to vote yes.
And shockingly enough, Commissioner Carrera, the unaffiliated chairman of the commission, went ahead and voted with the Democrats. The same Democrats that he likes giving money to. However, I will note that I did misspeak yesterday. He has given almost $9,000 to Democrats. However, that is since 2008, not since he took over as the chair of the commission. However, he still gave money to the DCCC after pretending like he's the unaffiliated chairman of this commission.
Commissioner Whitworth's assertion that the map that Commissioners Nicholas and Toole attempted to put on the record, I have to say, is not properly before this commission. It is yet another map that this commission voted yesterday not to accept any additional amendments or maps, and so based on that total commission vote, that map is not part of the record.
But apparently they couldn't stop at just winning with their map. They wanted to make sure that the Republican map wasn't even on record at the meeting, just in case the court decided to look at it.
We can keep doing this, Commissioner Tencio, but the fact is you want to subvert our state constitution to a matter of procedure, but we don't have to do. We have until December 6th to adopt this. So why not get more information? I said that yesterday. That's why I didn't object to your bait and switch tactics from the other night, which clearly you had worked out well beforehand. In fact, I'm not sure that that hadn't been discussed with staff prior. But that's exactly what the plan was.
What a huge shock it was after swooping in at the last minute and dropping an entire new map that the Democrats late yesterday afternoon then decided to take a vote that no further maps or amendments would be considered. And it came down to a party line 6-5 vote. Because at this point, we're just assuming that Carrera pretty much always votes with the Democrats.
The commission voted yesterday that no additional amendments were going to be accepted beyond the 2 Republican maps and the 2 Democratic maps and the Republican amended map that was submitted on Sunday evening and Monday morning. That's our vote. And while I understand that some of my colleagues on the commission may be upset at the fact that they did not submit another map, that is not our responsibility. We met the deadlines, we voted as a group to accept all of the maps.
Okay, let me clarify one more time, because at this point I started to get very frustrated. The Democrats submitted a wholesale new map on Sunday night. The Republicans submitted their maps on Wednesday at noon when they were told to do so, and only submitted small tweaks and an amendment once they realized that the Democrats had been sitting with their map for 4 days. And so all of these claims that all of the Republicans had all of this time, and they're just mad that they didn't submit another map. If they knew that they could have, they would have done it. Obviously.
Claire just handed us some emails from people in Longmont objecting to the map that we just passed, by the way, with no debate about that map. We just passed a House map. This has become a part of the record. And something that was submitted and presented to the commission had an opportunity to consider is a part of the record. Now the alternative to that is it's not part of the record. And the reason it's not part of the record is because you don't want it to be part of the record, you want to see what's in it.
Yeah, what are you so afraid of, Democrats? Why won't you let it be in the record? Oh, wait, I know. The reason that you won't allow this map to be in the record and the reason that you submitted your bait and switch fake map 14 hours before a meeting that you then had what we'll just call at this point a straight party line vote to shut down any future submissions, I think it's because you're afraid that people are going to understand that this is a power grab. It is a stacked, steamrolled power grab process, and you're just terrified that Republicans are going to come up with something more substantive.
I would say that I am not going to take responsibility for the fact that certain commissioners on this commission chose not to submit additional maps. That was your choice.
And back to my previous comments. Chose? It wasn't a choice. If you give 2 different groups 2 different deadlines, it's not that they didn't choose to submit another map. It's that you dropped a map at the last minute.
Just a very brief response. Commissioner Tensi, you asked why other commissioners didn't submit maps after the deadline. I can tell you why I didn't personally. I didn't submit a brand new map after the deadline because I had an email from the staff director saying plans are due by noon the 23rd. So I got my map in noon the 23rd.
And then just to add insult to injury, they decided to float a motion to prevent any other maps from being part of a minority report or even being accessible to the courts in any way. Classy.
I move that the commission only forward and tender the vote adopted by the majority of this commission and that there be no minority report or map submitted or
Is
allowed.
there a second for that?
A second.
Commissioner Hart, Commissioner Salazar, second to that. Any discussion, Commissioner Nicholas?
I don't understand why we would want to limit what the court sees, especially when we have already seen other maps.
Kennedy.
No.
Nicholas.
No.
Salazar.
Yes.
Toole.
No.
Whitworth.
No.
Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And just when I had hoped that Mario Carrera might stand up and be the unaffiliated member and at least allow the courts accessibility to see other map options, he sided with the Democrats once again.